Yo, 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 good morning. Grateful for another maggot-free day above the dirt. Jersey Shore, check it out. So, the other day, a new reader posted a quote from my first book, Fighting Buddha. And I don't believe in coincidence. And it was, a nice segue from the last video into a new video. So, the last video was Start Your Practice Over, which I'm not going to rehash it all, but in a nutshell speaks to how every new moment is a new life. Every new life requires new practice. Though what we do in the last moment will definitely influence the next moment. And we have a choice in every moment to perpetuate something from the last moment or redirect in a different direction in the new moment. And that often when we, quote, fail to live up to our spiritual ideals about ourselves, not only do we not redirect and start over, but we actually use it as a punishment to not practice, to not do what's right in the next moment. And we look at these difficulties as stumbling blocks and obstacles rather than stepping stones. And so the next video is called Start Your Friggin' Practice Already. And basically, I'll paraphrase the quote that was put up on Facebook from my book, which basically says, a lot of people spend a lot of time preparing to start practice, thinking that if they acquire more knowledge, read more, do preparatory work towards starting, that when they start, they'll be in a better position and they'll achieve more, attain more, be further along than they would have. And actually nothing is farther from the truth, because what happens is this, quote, preparation actually keeps them in a loop of constantly preparing, because the mindset then becomes, well, if I've done this and I'm in a better place, if I do more, I'll be in an even better place. And if I do more than that, I'll be in an even better place. And it just keeps this loop going of always preparing and actually never, ever starting. So Zen teachings speak a lot about where and when to start practice. There's a lot of koans. If you don't know what a koan is, it's one of these seemingly unanswerable riddles, like what's the sound of one hand clapping, etc. And the purpose of a koan is to jar us out of our intellectualizing of issues and into the true real-time, present moment experience. Not to live via what we think about something or through a narrative we've created or a story we're telling or what we wish to be. It's about having the experience of what is and engaging that. So, excuse me. So, koans are to jar us out of intellectualizing and into reality, into the actualization of the experience, which is where we gain our true insight and wisdom. So I'll just state a few koans that kind of deal with this subject. And it's always a student asking the master, Master, how do I start practice? Master, how do I start Zen practice or start Zen? Master, where do I find Zen? And the answers to these questions are always very simple, and that's a beautiful quality about Zen. Sometimes it's so simple, that's why it's missed, because of the over-intellectualization of trying to answer the question, right? So a student asks, Master, where do I enter Zen? And the master says, do you hear the bubbling brook as it passes by you? Do you hear the raging river as it goes by you? Another question would be, or another answer would be to this same question, where do I start Zen? Where do I find Zen? How do I start practice? Where do I start practice? The master will say, the oak tree in the garden, or 3 pounds of flax, or 6 pounds of rice, or my personal favorite, see that shit stick? So let me explain that. Back in ancient times, they didn't have TP. They had lacquered sticks that you stuck up your bum and cleaned with that. So I guess for some it was pleasant, for some unpleasant. I won't comment on that. But basically all these answers are basically saying, what a stupid friggin' question. When do you start? Right now. Where? Listen to the brook. That's what's happening right now. So that's where your attention should be. Look at the tree. That's the most natural, organic thing happening. That's real. Look at the flax. Look at the rice. The shit stick one is the same, but it also adds another layer which says, do not differentiate between what you view as holy and spiritual and what, quote, isn't. It's all spiritual, so there's no special place to start. There's no special way to start. You just start by being present with what's present and see spirituality in everything, whether it's something you deem holy or something you deem, quote, not holy, like a shit stick. It's all holy. It's all holy, and it's all the practice. And that's what these koans are meant for us to see, is that you got to start now. It's all practice. Anything you see right in front of you is your practice. Engage it. Don't wait for a better time or a better place or to be better prepared, because you miss it. That's bypassing it. That's a disassociation. That is a procrastination. And that this is like probably the most important issue, because most people not only do this to, quote, start practice, but even when they do start practice, they continue it. They continue it through bypassing. And that's a whole nother subject I'm not going to, get into now. But always remember that the desire to be spiritual, this pursuit of spirituality, is spirituality. If you want to become spiritual, that's a spiritual trait and quality to build upon. Someone that isn't in touch with their spiritual being doesn't have a desire to pursue spirituality, doesn't have a desire to prepare. So you've already started. That's the irony. If you're doing all this preparation, you've already started. So now put it into action, skillful action. So I hope this was helpful, and have a great maggot-free day above the dirt. Show you the beautiful day once more. Peace out.